All right, bro, you got to understand that there is a fine line between being a simp and being open emotionally to giving and receiving love at the right time to the right woman, right? Now, a lot of the red pill space has completely brainwashed you guys into thinking that you have to be very cold, very closed off, very distant. But this is a problem because if you play it too cool, if you're too cold, if you're too distant, too closed off, then she's never going to feel safe enough. You're never going to give her the space to be able to be in her feminine energy and to actually really open up to you. Now, don't listen to what I'm saying at all if you are just trying to be a player and you just want to date multiple girls and spin plates and you never want to actually have a high quality woman in your life and have that partnership, right? If you're just trying to be a player and hook up, then it doesn't really matter because you see a lot of women that allow themselves to be manipulated like this. They have a lot of toxic behavior patterns. And so they're going to be drawn to the same energy in a guy, right? They're going to be drawn to a toxic guy. That's why you see some of these girls and they're like, well, what? They're always complaining about the guys that they're with, but they haven't actually taken a second to look themselves in the mirror and do some of their own inner work. So different conversation, but you got to have the right balance, right? So it's all about the yin and the yang. Okay, so the yang is the masculine energy, the yin is the feminine energy. And this is what nobody's really talking about, but as a man, you really have to have the right balance. So you need to be in your masculine frame, but you have to be open emotionally to the right woman at the right time. Now, let me tell you a story about this girl that I dated a while back. We had the bond, we had the connection, we had the vibe. We didn't get to the bond part as much early on because I was too cold. I was too closed off, too distant. I was playing it too cool. I was really deep in the red pill space at the time, and I realized that I was pigeonholing myself because I did this with a lot of different women. Just too closed off, you're like too locked in, you know. But this girl was trying to show me emotion. She was trying to open herself up to me and express how she felt, and you know, she was trying to give me some emotion, right? But it ended up pushing her away. She pulled back and she started to actually match my energy. And I decided to just open up a little bit more, just a little bit here and there, you know? And she fell into my frame. She matched my energy. Because you got to understand, a woman that is in her feminine energy, she wants to submit to a worthy man that's in his masculine frame. So you got to understand, you got to lead the interaction and the relationship in the direction that you want it to go in, okay? So you really need to understand that. It's very important. So when I started to warm up to her, things started to flip around, okay? You want to be a little sweet to her, okay? You want to be caring to her. You want to be kind to her, but you don't want to act like a woman, okay? You don't want to be too much, but you got to be a little open, dude, or else you're never going to be able to connect with her. And that's why there's so many guys that are struggling because the red pill space is hardcore preaching that you got to be, you got to, you know, treat women like crap and act like you don't care. But you go to the extreme and then you find yourself like actually wanting to have a relationship, but you realize that you've actually allowed yourself to be brainwashed into this toxic mindset. So here's the thing with the red pill space. You take the meat and leave the bones. Take the meat and leave the bones. Because there's some good stuff in there, some good foundational stuff that I think every young man should understand, but a lot of it is a bunch of nonsense and it's very toxic. So you gotta understand that you really have to, you gotta set the frame, right? And you gotta be open. You gotta be open emotionally. And, you know, she will submit to your frame, right? So just like this girl, she submitted to my frame because she wants to be sweet and she wants to be caring. And so that's really how it went down. A feminine woman wants to submit to a worthy man's frame and she wants to follow his lead, okay? So she's going to go in the direction that you lead things. You got to remember that. What I mean is if you're too much over the top, acting like a simp, or if you're too much acting like, you know, an asshole and completely cold, like neither one of them is going to work. It's about having the right balance. So you don't need to try and, you know, just vomit your emotions to a girl. I'm not saying to do that. You never want to do that because that's going to push her away. And you don't want to just sit there and text her all the time. Why didn't you respond to my text? Or or I miss you, I miss you so much, or I like you so much. You don't need to do all that, okay? But you can give her some validation. It's okay to show that you care a little bit, okay? But you got to remember that women want to be in a novel. They want to be in a romance novel, in a movie and stuff, right? So you got to have a little bit of mystery to it. I'm not asking you to play crazy games, but I'm also saying that you don't want to just lay all your cards out on the table and just completely expose everything. Because then, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is she's going to lose interest. So you got to be open a little bit, and if it's the right woman, that is. And that's why you don't want to rush into a relationship. You need to make sure that you are properly vetting this girl. So when you're dating, the first, few months, you're really getting to know her. Be observant of how she acts and everything. Pay attention to every little thing and just see if this is the kind of woman that you would actually want to be in a committed relationship with. Now, you should not push the relationship agenda. You should never ask about a commitment. Where is this going? That should always be her. I can tell you right now, every single time that I ever did that in the past, every single time without fail, it never worked out. It backfired on me. Why? Because it's showing neediness. It's showing like needy behavior. You should be a man on your purpose. You should not be worried about that. She should be the one bringing up the idea of where is this going? Every single time that it was the opposite, it's simp behavior and it's not going to work out. So just remember that you want to get to know the girl and you don't want to be too over the top, acting like a simp, but it's okay to show her that you care. Like, you can give her a compliment here and there. A lot of the red pill guys are saying, never compliment a girl, don't ever validate her. But dude, that's not going to work on a high quality woman that respects herself, okay? Now, again, don't listen to what I'm saying if you're just trying to hook up, spin plates, and be a player. But I'm not a player here. Used to be, retired player. But if you want to really attract and draw in a high quality woman and, have a girlfriend, have a solid partner, because women, the right woman is absolutely amazing in your life. It helps you in so many ways, so much value. If that's what you really want, then you just have to have the right balance. Now, you don't want to be an asshole to her either, right? Like, if you're an asshole to her, it's just not going to work out, okay? Now, again, if you're just trying to hook up, then you can kind of be a dick and just sleep with her, but that's not what this channel is all about. Now, I do think that every man should have an asshole side, but don't be an asshole to your girlfriend. Again, you want to banter with her, play with her, joke around with her, tease her a little bit, but only 10% of the time, because if you do it too much, you're going to come across as a bully, and it's not going to work out. It's going to push her away. So anyway, just remember that, guys. You don't want to be a simp, but you don't want to act too cold and closed off, because then you're going to push her away. You want to have the right balance. So if you like this video, hit that like button, comment down below something that you've experienced yourself. And if you like the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.